My workplace has some crazy ass fucking shit happen.
Yeah, for real. Well, ours too. Like, I think it's just construction. Just the characters that you get. And, I mean, we had a bad one. He was just... You know that murdery energy some people have?
Yeah, I have it on some days, yeah.
No, not that kind of murdery energy. Like, you might actually be
This
A
person
murderer.
looks like a
Yes.
serial killer.
I worked with one of those people that when they fired them, they evacuated the building just in case he lost it.
Oh, yeah. Well, we had one... Okay, so we had one guy who did site surveys for us.
Mhm.
And, he completely, fucking lost his shit in the past couple of months before he was fired. And, yeah, when they went to fire him, we locked ourselves...
Disintegration.
We locked ourselves in the office because we were afraid he was gonna lose it. Like, genuinely afraid for our lives.
Yes!
It's funny after the fact, like, Heather's losing her damn mind, and she's like, this guy could have killed us all.
But the kicker to that is we found out, after he already left, we found out that the doors don't actually lock to the office.
Oh my god.
So we just shut the doors in the room and thought they were locked. We were, yeah.
That is hilarious.
And then he also stole one of our drones, and his car was on site because all four wheels were flat. He had been using a company vehicle. So after he got fired, he didn't even listen to any of the things that the OM had to say, the operations manager. He was just like, I'm fucking done. Apparently he had been talking shit in the group chat, like the work group chat, for weeks about how the bosses are, you know, shitty and idiots and they don't know what they're doing and he should be doing this and all that. What did you just upload? Ooh, what is that?
I found it on Pinterest and I require it.
I want it. That's so cool.
We're not gonna make it through any, like, stories.
Anyway, so...
Yep, sorry.
So... So yeah, so he walked out as soon as the word fire came out of OM's mouth, and he sat in his company vehicle for like 2 hours out back of our building.
No, I'd be so worried if he was gonna come back in and shoot it up. Oh my god.
I was in full out fucking mom mode, okay? Because I went back after we got the, okay, he left the building message from our friend in the back. I went back there and I found out that he was just sitting out there. Every half hour, I went to the back just to make sure everything was good.
I'd be like hurting everyone, like, okay, you fucking, it's time to barricade these rooms, close the windows,
Yeah.
we can't see inside.
Yeah, so that was him. But the guy with the, also, after he got fired, he kept, calling, trying to talk to one of our owners, and he kept applying to posted jobs.
The fuck?
Yeah.
My former boss that I actually almost quit when he was my manager. Like the day he quit, I literally was so fucking relieved. For like several years, he kept applying to different job openings we posted. Or he would like email the owner trying to like get back in, and he went and worked for our competition for a while.
Yeah.
And then one day one of our guys calls me and he's like, "You'll never guess who's working the self-checkout at Target." I was like, honestly, after that guy spent 2.5 years telling me that my degree was worthless, good.
Oh my god. Yeah, right? You should go to that Target and be like, oh, hey!
Oh, I have your job.
Oh,
And
man.
I do it better.
No, you don't even say that. You're like, I I feel like I recognize you. I just came from my job as, like, manager of... you know, and I just... Oh, man.
Yeah, your face just seems so familiar. I just can't put my finger on it.
Yeah. Were you in marketing? Oh, I feel like maybe I saw you in school or something.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, so anyway, that's the one guy. The other guy we hired to do permits in New Jersey, and he fucked up all of it. He was terrible. On top of our permit coordinator being fucking awful. So it was a bad time. But he just had that psycho energy, like that weird, quiet, but when he speaks, it's like weird shit.
Oh, yeah, no. We had, yes, that's...
And it's like, you being a person makes me uncomfortable.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, and you can tell, like, you could feel it in the air that he is a person who has the ability to snap. And we found out about that because the day that he quit himself, he literally didn't say a fucking word in the office, walked to the back, which he usually did when he was going out to his car on break, apparently told our OM, who had nothing to do with this dude and his job, really, walked out, said to our OM, I'm fucking out of here, got on his phone with his mommy to bitch about the job and say a bunch of shit that wasn't true. So, you know, kind of justifying, oh, I'm leaving this place because there's shit, when it's like, bro, what?
He probably lived with his mom and needed to explain why he couldn't pay his rent for his basement room.
That's what, yeah, that was one of the theories. But yeah, he just fucking went in the back, blew up about it, and quit. So we were all like, well, I mean, we were right. But he was one of those people where you two are also waiting every day, like, is he gonna snap over some shit today?
Well, and that's the thing, is
call the police eventually.
Yeah, like construction, you hire shady people. Like, that's the industry. That's what it is.
Unfortunately.
Which, I mean, honestly, it's not the worst thing. Like, people deserve a second chance, and I'm sorry, but if all you went to jail for was drugs, that's fucking bullshit anyway, so...
Yeah. We have a few guys who, you know, have some rough pasts.
Yeah.
Who are trying to turn their lives around. And it's like, great for you. Like, we're fine with that. But when you get these couple that come in and they're just psychopaths, it's like, I feel very in danger all of a sudden.
We had this guy come in and get hired as a salesman, and salesmen go to people's homes. Like, solo. Yeah. They go to people's homes solo.
Yeah.
Come to find out, he has a record.
Oh, gosh.
And so we're like, dude, you can't go to people's homes based on what your record is. Like, we can't let you go to people's homes.
Yeah.
So we kind of, like, switched his job up.
Uh-huh.
And the story's a lot more convoluted than that, but I don't want it recorded.
Yeah.
I can just cut here.
Okay. So I'm gonna give you guys the whole story and then obviously cut out the things that could do very bad things for me and my company.
Yep.
Okay.
More work for Vale.
Yep, I got it.
So we hired
Mom.
Our sales manager at the time hires this guy. And they go in and they're like, hey, like, he does, like, when you run his background check, he is going to have a blip, but this is what happened. And apparently they kind of lied about what happened.
Who is they?
I know for sure the guy. We have a suspicion that he told the sales manager, and the sales manager helped cover for him, but we can't prove it. So
He probably told the sales manager some fucking sob story.
Also true.
So they hire him. He starts coming to homes. He outs himself.
What an idiot.
To our staff. And when you, like, say to girls in the workplace that you have a record, do you think we're not gonna find it?
Right, exactly. Like, bitch, you told the best investigators on the planet.
So it turns out that he used to...
Then they need to go to jail too, but...
His wife found out about it and reported him.
Oh, good for her.
Oh,
I
he
love
was
her.
married, so he was married and also had his...
Yeah, so he went to jail, did time for it, obviously lost his teaching license, all this other stuff.
Did he lose his wife?
Yes, he did.
Good.
So then, like, obviously he's like, oh, you know, I gotta go, like, figure my fucking life out because I'm an asshole. And his version of this story is that his ex-wife is crazy and she stalks him and harasses him, which I don't know if any of this is true. Like, I don't know these people.
Probably not.
The only one I've met. But he's super fucking creepy guy. Really fucking weird. Like, just says some strange ass shit all the time. And we're trying to figure out how the fuck we're gonna get rid of this guy. Because we do not, like, the girls do not want him there.
That's literally that's this guy I was talking about. Like, how can we get him out?
Yeah, but now, because we're not sure that the sales manager did or didn't know the truth, he could have a legal case against us if we fire him.
Ugh.
So we need actual grounds
to fire him,
despite being an at-will state. Because you can... Anyway. So... it takes so much fucking time, but the day they're gonna fire him... Nobody knows this is happening. Like, this is the most hush-hush firing that has ever happened in my company. Like, usually when people get fired, like, everybody kind of knows the shit's coming.
Yeah.
And I just get told, can you please call the appointment center to your office? What? Because at this time we were in, like, 2 separate buildings.
Right.
And them and him were in one building, and then, like, the rest of us were in another.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, what am I calling them to my office for? They're like, you just need to call them to your office.
Like, okay.
Okay.
I don't necessarily want him in my office, but...
So I called the appointment center over. No. He wasn't part of the appointment center. So I called those 3 over to my office, and they came in my office.
Okay.
And they're like, just train. I'm like, what the fuck am I supposed to train on? Like, I am not on the fly. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, train anything. What?
Yeah, pick something, talk to them about something. So come to find out that they had evacuated the building because 3 of the guys in our company went over there to fire him just in case something went down. Because they really thought this guy would lose it. Yeah. Like, this was the person you thought if anybody was going to snap and, like, punch somebody, beat somebody up, come back and shoot somebody, like, this was the guy.
Yeah.
Like, he even... Obviously, like, all buildings have fire exits. These were smaller office buildings.
Yeah.
So he would just pull up behind the office building and park his truck and use the fire exit door to leave. So his truck was never on camera at our office.
Oh my god.
That's terrifying.
Yeah. Isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, this, but that's, I get the kind of fucking psycho you're talking about.
Yeah, 100%, yeah. Man, it's so scary. I mean, to be honest, like, I'm still kind of nervous about the one guy. Not the one who quit himself, whatever, I'm sure he's done. But, you know, like, it's just like, people are psychos.
They really are.
I don't know who, I think I was talking to someone yesterday about this, how, like, people just scare me now. Oh, we were talking about hitchhikers.
Oh,
never.
Yeah. And how we would never pick up a hitchhiker, and how one of my friends picked up a hitchhiker because he thought it was the guy who lived next door to him until he started talking to him and realized, oh shit, this is not the guy I thought it was, but he had already offered him a ride, and then the whole time he was worried the guy was gonna stab him in the middle of this ride.
I often struggle with that because, like, I have the heart where I'm like, I want to help people, but I also understand the world. So like it was you don't see hitchhikers around me often. But I was driving home from college one day. It was the middle of the day. This man in a gray suit with blonde hair that was way too blonde for the tan on his skin. He was walking, and as I was passing, he had held out his thumb, and I was like, oh, I should stop and give him a ride. And then my brain started having all of the anxieties, and I was like, and then like I just drove by and I felt like a terrible human being. So that's the struggle.
No, like I'm a good human being for a lot of things. I'm very sympathetic, I'm very empathetic, but you will never see me catching a hitchhiker because I don't trust people enough for this.
Yeah.
Like, especially with all the shit that we see on the daily basis. All the news we see. All of the true crime we consume. Yes. I cannot pick up hitchhiker to the point where while we were talking about hitchhikers, one of them told me a story, and I'll tell you later. But I won't pick up a hitchhiker so badly that I saw my godmother on the side of the road one day, and I drove by her. Then I drove by her a second time, and I was like, I should pick her up. It was my own godmother. I still was like, I'm not picking up hitchhikers.
You didn't know if it was doppelganger.
I did stop and talk to her, and she's like, oh, I just got out of work, and I'm waiting for my husband to come pick me up. And I was like, this is a really weird place to, like, stop, because I know where you work, and you live in the middle of the city. So, all right, and I drove away.
Yeah, Avani, that is adorable.
I know it is.
The reason why I can remember, like, I remember exactly what this guy looks like. One, because his face was a little weird, just the build of it. But two, because I thought about that situation for, like, days after. Because I kept running in my head, like, shit, how could I have done that safely? And I ultimately realized there's no way to safely do that. Even if I had a knife and I threatened him when he got in my own car, there's no safe way to guarantee that I won't be dead.
Especially as a woman.
Yeah.
Especially
and I was alone. Yeah.
No fucking thank you. So
yeah,
what had
I don't I was gonna say, I don't even think, like, if I had anybody in the car with me, even, you know, Jack, I don't think I would still pick somebody up.
Well, no, because even if you let them get in the back seat,
then they have an advantage of
they have an advantage on you.
Yeah.
If they get in the seat next to you, they have an advantage on you.
Yeah.
Like, you still have to drive the vehicle and hope to God, like, you don't wreck it defending yourself.
Yeah.
So, like, what brought this conversation on was because they were talking about, like, some, like, paranormal things that they had seen, and how they're like, oh, one of the scariest things I saw wasn't paranormal, but it was, like, a real person, and it was, like, him...
And it was Vale in the road!
It could have been. The thing was, it was him and one of our college friends, and they were driving home. It was during college times, and they were driving home from letting out another friend at her house. So there's these two guys driving in their car, and they see a woman in the middle of the street, like, dirty and like she had stuff all over her, and she was wearing a dress, and she just
was it white? I don't trust any woman in the middle of the road with a white dress.
Supposedly.
It's a ghost.
But they were like, she looked like a real person. They were like, there's a real woman in the middle of the street. But she gave off such creepy vibes that they kept driving, and they didn't stop. And I was like, see, I also would not have stopped. But if I thought it was a real person and she looked that badly, I probably would have called the cops.
Yeah, I think I would stop far away and call the cops. I think I would be like, I see her in my mirror. She's about 3 miles down the road, but
like I'd look at her, like, whatever it was, like, they're like, he says that it was a real woman, and she just gave such a creepy vibe that they just, like, sped off. And I was like, if this woman had been kidnapped and just clawed her way out, and she's just, like, destroyed and bloody and messed up, because of what just happened to her, and you guys just drove away and just left her like that, that's fucked. I would have drove and then on my phone called 911 and been like, yo, so I drove by this area right here. There's a lady on the side of the road. I don't think she's okay.
See, the problem with my area is it's a bunch of dark back roads. So if I saw that, I don't know. I mean, I would try to be a good person, but I might be shitting myself first. So
I would probably convince myself that my brain was making shit up. That wasn't really there. I would go home, lock the doors, check the windows, and take something to make sure I didn't dream that night.
But here's the thing. It was 2 people in the car who saw her.
Nope.
It's like if Heather was driving and you were in the passenger seat and you both saw that lady.
Okay, so let me ask you a question. If you're in the car with your friend and you think you see something, do you say something or do you pretend you don't see it?
It depends on the friend.
I probably wouldn't say. I would wait. If I did see something, I think I'd wait until we were somewhere else. Like, if we were driving and I saw something, and I didn't know if they saw something, I'd wait till we got home or to our destination, to the restaurant, and be like, while we were driving, did you see X or Y thing?
No, it definitely, like, if it's, like, not somebody that that I have that type of friendship with, I would probably not say something. If I had that type of friendship, I'm not shutting my fucking mouth. I'd immediately be like, what the fuck is that? Do you see that shit? What is that?
So, this story that started the whole thing was that my friend, he loves to tell this story. Him and one of our other friends who we were talking to yesterday were driving back from where my husband used to live, which is the middle of buttfuck nowhere. And they have to pass a cemetery to get back to the main road. And when they pass the cemetery, the guy turns to the girl and he's like, did you see that? And she goes, ghost feet. And they both saw, so instead of giving the other one a prompt, they both saw the same thing without giving the other person the hint until after they saw the thing, because they didn't want to suggest an idea to the other person.
This has reminded me of so I've lived in this town my whole life. I've lived in this house my whole life. So we live about 5 minutes from some cranberry bogs, right?
Bog spiders.
And
I didn't know about spiders, and we went there like on a field trip in school.
Yeah.
Later I found out about the fucking spiders.
Yeah, for Avani and Vale, if you could cut this out. Where they're like, this is where the Jersey Devil is, blah 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 blah. And
oh, wait, before you continue on your story, you remember that one of the teachers in the high school said that he was related to the Leeds family of the Jersey Devil? Or something like that? He started with an R. But he would say that his family is descendant of the Leeds family.
No, I don't remember that.
Okay, you can continue your story. I remember that, like, vividly.
I didn't pay much attention because at the time I was like, this is all bullshit. But
I don't know the Jersey Devil story.
You don't know the Jersey Devil?
I don't think so. Unless I've heard it called something else.
Let's do a Jersey Devil episode.
We'll do a Jersey Devil episode. We'll do a Jersey Devil episode.
Okay, hold on. Someone write it down because we forget what we're doing episodes on.
So anyway, I've lived in this area my whole life, and my dad, when I was a kid, he used to take me down there fishing all the time. As an adult, I would just take drives through there, maybe like sit by a lake, relax, whatever. Recently, very recently, a lot of people have been going there. They've been like picking up on events and stuff. It's great to see. A pain in the ass because it used to be quiet and peaceful and now somebody's there all the time. But but it's good to see that little tiny community of theirs thriving. What I didn't know the first year that things really started to pick up was that some of these events had like walks through the backwoods and, you know, decorations and stuff. So one time I'm driving and I'm just trail riding in the back and I'm high as fuck because that's what you do. And
that's what you do, yes.
And I go to turn on this back road. Bitches, I almost shit myself because there were beat up looking tiny dolls, creepy dolls hung in the trees.
Fuck no.
Oh no.
Fuck no.
No.
I stopped my car and I was like, demons! And then I was like, oh, it's probably a Halloween thing. And it was a Halloween thing. But that scared the shit out of me.
If you're gonna do that, you should send a memo to the locals.
I really
not
did.
A satanic ritual, just a heads up. We're decorating for Halloween. It's good.
They were so creepy.
Oh my god.
Like, when you picture horror movie type dolls, that's what these were. Just without blood.
I can't imagine being high and going down a trail that I know and suddenly seeing, whoop, here we go, haunted dolls. I think I would probably put the car in reverse in that same motion. Like, okay, we're not doing this.
Thankfully, it was the middle of the day when I found them. It wasn't dark out. Yeah. If it was dark out, I definitely would have backed my ass out of it.
God, if it was dark out, I would have probably had a fucking heart attack and pissed myself.
I did drive past them in the dark, because once I found out what it was, I was like, okay, nobody's gonna try to kill me. So I did drive past them in the dark, and they were even creepier in the headlights, let me tell you. So, yeah, that's that fun story.
Good lord.
Oh, no.
I have a Halloween decoration idea. I have a big bay window in my living room that you have to walk past to get to the door. So for Halloween, I can just make that a creepy doll display.
And you are popping with ideas today.
I know, right?
Like you're stopping
in the middle of the night.
Idea.
I can't wait for you to scare yourself with that one night coming home.
Right, when you're just like super exhausted and you forget it's there and you turn the corner, you're like, Jesus fucking Christ!
Oh, fuck's in my house.
Yeah. That'll probably happen.
Yeah.
I'll probably be high.
Ask Jack to record that for us.
I have like a weird thing with fear. When I get scared, I don't show that I'm scared, so I have to mention that I'm scared. The other day I was in the kitchen and it was like, I think I only had one of the lights on and I had noise canceling headphones on because my husband was, I think he was asleep or something, or he was at work and I didn't know. No, I think he was going to sleep. So I was getting like a snack for me to take my pills to go to sleep. And when I turned the corner, my husband was walking up the 3 steps to get to the kitchen. And I was like, I turned to him and I was like, damn, you scared the shit out of me. But like completely deadpanned. Like I had walked and then stopped. I was like, damn, you scared the shit out of me. But inside I walked, took the 3 steps, saw him, and my heart stopped for 2 seconds. But I didn't flinch. I didn't do anything. I was like, damn, you scared the shit out of me.
I have a similar response when it's like a quick scare, like a jump scare. But I have felt actual terror a couple times in my life from a really good scare. And I have learned that my terror response is to freeze in place, take a breath in, and be silent. And that is not very conducive to survival.
My husband and I were talking about that because another thing is I can't scream. I am physically unable to scream. And he was literally yesterday when we did the little jump scare, he mentioned that if a murderer came into the house and started stabbing me, all he'd hear was, ow, that hurts. Stop that. Because I can't scream. I don't know why I can't scream. And he's like, if some murderer came in and was stabbing you, all I'd hear was, No. Stop that. That hurts.
I think you'd cuss them out in Spanish.
Also true. Another fear response I get when I get really scared is I clench my hand really tight, like if I'm gonna punch someone to death. So sometimes when I get really scared, I get really bad carpal tunnel because I just clench my fist so tight, I just fuck my wrist.
You're just gonna square up with a ghost one.
Yeah.
Which is why it happened, why I found out that, because I thought there was a ghost in my brother's room, and when I walked in and I saw someone sitting on his bed that wasn't him, I quickly just clenched my fist, walked out, turned around, and told my brother there was someone sitting on his bed, and then he came in and he started he turned on the lights and started swatting his arms around. But when I originally walked in and got scared, I clenched my fist like I was about to punch someone.
No, I would shit myself.
I feel like the clenching of the fist thing is just kind of a natural response because, I mean, at least you can hit somebody, whether you think it's a ghost or not, if you see something there.
It ain't a natural response for me. My hands are open. I'm just ready to grab my chest. Fuck.
You're just fuck it, take me.
Yeah. The first few times my husband gave me a jump scare, I almost punched him. Because since I do that, I wouldn't expect him somewhere, and I'd lift my arm and everything. I'd go to hit him, and then after a while, I started, when I started getting scared, I leave my arm down. But before, I used to, I would even square up and everything. Every time, I wouldn't expect him to be somewhere, I'd be like, what? And my arms would be up. Now I just kind of, leave my arm down and clench my hand. Which, if it is a person, and I need to punch them, it's gonna take me a second to, raise my arm again.
I did that once to Jack when I was leaving our bedroom and he was coming down the dark hallway, so all I saw was an outline of a person. And like I said, I freeze or I scream. But this time my fucking arm went back. I don't know where that came from, but I wish it would be more frequent. Because I felt safer.
Did you guys fight recently, or were you angry at him subconsciously?
Recently?
When that happened?
Then. Yeah,
when that happened? Yeah. I don't know. I don't remember. It was a while ago. Probably because it was in the beginning of our relationship and we were still trying to figure out how not to be frustrated with each other's quirks. So...
There you go.
Yeah. Could have been.
That was your subconscious right there.
Yeah. Freudian slip of the arm there.
Yeah. Freudian slip of the fist.
Yeah.
It is a way of the monk.
Well, I think we have poofed content.
We got 2 hours. But it's gonna be really weird to cut into 2 different episodes because the stories would happen 20 minutes after the story had started.
I think that you should literally just the mine where we're story crochet for 5 minutes, story crochet, story. I think you should let that be what it is.
Then I'd have to leave the whole episode as is. Except for the last part. This last part has been one full thought. Well, I mean, not one thought, but thoughts completed one after another.
Yeah, the ADHD stream worked on that one, yeah.
Yeah, no, they'll be able to follow us if they also have ADHD. Yeah. Just make it a part 1, part 2, it'll be fine. That's it for this one. Be sure to join us for our next episode and check out our other content on Twitch and YouTube. We've got Late Night Dungeon Fight, J&H Nerdcast, and ND Vale. We also have another podcast, Out of the Spirit Box, where we talk about a bunch of spooky shit. Hope to see you there, and thanks for your support. Bye!
Bye!